Hi there Waltoneers, I'm Jack and this is DSNY Newscast, and today we're going to be discussing something that may become a very politically charged topic. And so to begin with, I just want to ask you all to remain civil to each other down below in the comments section no matter what your political persuasion is. As earlier this week on the 20th and 21st of April, the Florida legislature of the Senate and the House of Representatives passed bills SB 4C and HB 3C, which aim to dissolve any independent special district established by a special act prior to the date of the ratification of the Florida Constitution on November 5th, 1968. Now, the reason why this is such a monumental issue for Walt Disney World is because out of the 1,844 special districts that are currently active within Florida, only 6 districts are to be dissolved under the criteria of this legislation. And importantly, Disney's self-governing authority, the Reedy Creek Improvement District, is to be one of those special districts that is being targeted to be dissolved on June 1st, 2023. However, it's not quite as simple as that, and so let's begin to explain the situation. And the first thing that you're probably wondering about is what exactly is the Reedy Creek Improvement District? And so here's a brief overview. As before Walt Disney World became what we all know it to be today, Walt's original idea for the Florida project was to build Epcot. Not the theme park that we know, but instead it was to be a model city, or what was known as the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. However, after Walt Disney died in December of 1966, the Florida project plans changed to focus more on the Vacation Kingdom concept instead. And on May 12, 1967, Republican Governor Claude R. Kirk Jr. signed the Reedy Creek Improvement Act, establishing the city of Bay Lake and the city of Lake Buena Vista. And this special district has meant that for over 50 years, Disney has been responsible for funding and operating all of the essential public services on their 25,000 acres of property, with this including fire departments, emergency medical vehicles, water production and distribution, electrical power generation and distribution, waste and recyclables collection and disposal, drainage and flood control, and the maintenance of every single roadway and bridge on property. And so with the intended dissolution of the Reedy Creek Improvement District, the responsibility of all those aforementioned services would fall upon the nearby Orange and Osceola counties and their respective taxpayers to shoulder the financial burden alongside Disney in operating their services within their 25,000 acres of Walt Disney World property. And on top of all of that, Reedy Creek also has approximately $1 billion of structured bond debt that would also be passed on to the nearby counties if the special district is dissolved, which as a result would likely lead to increased property taxes in those nearby districts. However, so much of the news coverage that you're going to see about this topic treats it as if it's a done deal. But that's simply just not the case. As within the Florida 2021 B Session Statute 189.072 Dissolution of an Independent Special District, it states that in order for the legislature to dissolve an active independent special district created and operating pursuant to a special act, the special act dissolving the active independent special district must be approved by a majority of the resident electors of the district. And here's the thing, as the resident electors can be governing body members appointed by the landowners, which in the case of the Reedy Creek Improvement District, those resident electors are a small selection of Disney-appointed members that Disney then permit to be permanent residents of Reedy Creek, as of course Disney is the landowner. And so under this current Florida statute, the dissolution bill that has been passed and once it's signed by the governor will then require the Disney-appointed resident electors to vote on whether to dissolve their district. And considering that they are loyal to Disney, they will surely vote unanimously against. Although that is assuming that the Florida legislature do not make further amendments to skirt around the current legally binding process in which to dissolve an active district. However, even if that does happen, it is widely expected that Disney will likely challenge this decision by litigating against the state of Florida over this action. And then the other scenario to all of this is, let's say that the Florida legislature do manage somehow to dissolve the Reedy Creek Improvement District. Well, then Orange and Osceola counties do have the authority to grant their own special special districts to Disney if they want to within their counties, therefore nullifying this whole entire process of dissolving the Reedy Creek Improvement District. Now at this point in the video you're probably asking yourself, why is Florida making life even harder for their single biggest employer in the state, with an approximate 80,000 strong workforce and the company that is responsible for putting Florida on the map as a multi-billion-dollar per year tourist destination? And well, it's because of Disney's response to the HB 1557 Parental Rights in Education, or what has been colloquially dubbed as the Don't Say Gay Bill. As you see, Disney voiced their opposition to this legislation, but along with that they also announced the suspension of all political donations within the state of Florida. And the reason why this really matters is that 2022 is a big election year for Florida, and so all of this brings into question the motives behind this Reedy Creek dissolution bill, as it seems to be political theatre for the national stage and also retaliation for pausing donations. However, no matter how all of this shakes out for the Reedy Creek Improvement District, this whole entire dispute between the state of Florida and Disney in March and April of 2022 will likely have much wider implications for the future of the Walt Disney Company than what we can currently see right now. As you see, not only has this whole dispute changed the relationship and potentially the investments that Disney is willing to make in Florida, but also on a much bigger scale in terms of the Disney community, as the complete and utter disastrous mismanagement of public relations to begin with and the failure for diplomatic relations later on will likely weigh extremely heavy on the Disney Board of Directors' decisions as to whether they decide or not to extend Disney CEO Bob Chapek's contract that is up for renewal in February of 2023. Which, needless to say, would be massive news in terms of the investor, shareholder, stakeholder, cast member, Disney fan community in general, plus the creative direction of the company. And so, in conclusion today, this is very much going to be a developing story over the coming months, if not years, that will have long-term ramifications for how the Walt Disney Company chooses to invest in Walt Disney World and Florida as a whole. But instead of moving to far-reaching speculation in this video, hopefully I've been able to help explain what's happening with the Reedy Creek Improvement District, and I'll keep you up to date if new big developments do emerge in the future. But now, as always, it's over to you, Walt, and as I would like to know, what are your thoughts and opinions about today's news, and also what do you think this means for the future of Walt Disney World? And if you like receiving these news updates, give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help this channel out. And I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.